I'm just making notes of things because I always forget because I have a goldfish brain.
Yeah.
You said Knockout Blonde?
Yeah, Knockout Blonde is the name of the movie. So I'm a cosplayer, actress, model, and
So,
I am
normal
a
everyday.
regional title holder in a regional beauty pageant as well.
Hot.
I am 23 years HRT, so I am well established in my identity. And I have bottom surgery coming up in September. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Wait, is this in the movie or in real?
So
Wait.
everything I just mentioned is me.
Okay.
And Knockout Blonde is going to be something totally different we'll talk about.
Oh! I thought that was like you were describing your character in Knockout Blonde, and I was like,
I was describing
wow,
me.
Super in depth.
Yes, that would have been, but it wasn't.
Regular.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Tucker Carlson's gonna have a field day with that one.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Girl Dad Girls. I'm one of your hosts, Reese St. Marie. We have, as always, that QT Dana B, and our new stapler, Zexiana.
Ooh,
and
sexy.
Above me is the lovely Chelsea Brickham. How are you?
Ooh, hi.
Always excellent.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Chelsea, tell us about yourself. What makes Chelsea Chelsea?
A combination of a lot of different things. I value my education as well as my creativity.
Yes. Get it.
Our
girls are hot.
Thank you. I am a popular cosplayer, mostly in the Northeast, but I'm also expanding kind of into other regions of the United States. I'm also former model, I guess, kind of, and I've been in a couple beauty pageants in the regional Northeast, and also an actress. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Yeah,
that's badass. How long you been transitioning?
I started hormones in college in like 2002, 2003, something like that. So a good solid 20 years, pretty easily, a couple decades.
Based on the intro, how long have you been dating Iron Man? Throwing that out there.
Wow.
Tony Stark, I don't know him.
Like, damn, just Lester, apparently. Too much of a philanthropist.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I wish I'd had that kind of gumption to actually do it back then. I was just such a chicken.
I wish I had the finances and the parental support.
I didn't have any parental support, that's for sure. I had to wait till college to start it. So, yeah.
I didn't even learn this, was an option until college. How'd you? All right, so without knowing the actual term, how'd you end up finding out? It's like, oh, that's an option. Oh my god, like an aha moment.
Probably in high school, I started to become aware of people who actually pursue changing their gender, because I'd always had these urges, obviously from age 3 or 4.
Oh my god! Right.
So I just started looking into different things that other transgender people were doing, and started kind of pursuing that. Started getting my own hormones from the black market, which I don't recommend doing, but I don't regret doing myself. And that was before I had health insurance, back in college. And then after college, obviously, when I got my professional engineering career, then I started taking it the right way through a doctor. So.
Yeah. What was transitioning like back in the early 2000s? Because I feel like it was such a stigma back then. I mean, I'm watching Law and Order now, and they're doing the early 2000s. They still call us they still use some backwards term for it. They're like, oh, it's probably one of those transsexuals. I'm like,
what? Be like, okay, Straggett. Listen.
they're like, oh, it's a he/she. I'm like, oh my god, like this is like,
Right.
That's a dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't, there wasn't Facebook, there wasn't I guess there wasn't Reddit back then.
I mean,
how did you?
Facebook was in its infancy, so when I'm the same age as Zuckerberg, so when he came up with it, I joined immediately because it was just for college students. But
Yep.
It was mostly MySpace and Facebook, like that was that era, and LiveJournal. I think I was live journaling as well. But it was kind of one of those things where I just like joined the LGBT group on campus and just kind of surrounded myself with support to try to figure out what the heck to do with this information. And then eventually I was one of the founding members of the like University of Maine transgender group, and so we kind of got together and discussed different ideas and talked about different issues and things like that, and kind of went from there. So
wow,
eventually found my path. So
you're like one of the trailblazers that made it possible for like the rest of it. I would not have had that kind of bravery. That's like, I mean, I like honestly, like until like about 2 years ago, I'm almost 2 years on hormones, and like I was still under that impression of like this is a mental deficiency. I told myself, I was like, I'm just mentally wrong, and that's amazing that you had that sort of like that bravery, but also that like fortitude to stick with it. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Did you have did you have one of those pivotal moments? I know for me it was when I told somebody that I always wanted to be a girl, and she was like, why don't you just go ahead and do it? That was like my moment where I was just like, boom, this is like it opened so many doors and made so many things possible. Did you have one of those moments, or was it sort of like a slow glide into it?
It was so I was an only child to two conservative military parents, and so there's some difficulty in that sentence. And we moved around, and so I was always like kind of outnumbered against unsupportive parents, and never really developed any friends because we were just constantly moving every couple of years all around the world. And so it was, I think I was around age 8 or 9 when I casually looked in the mirror, and I actually saw a girl from the angle that I was at. There wasn't a quite straight on angle, but there was a moment when I glanced at the mirror, and I remember it very distinctly. When and ever since then I never really questioned it. I always kind of like held it in the back of my mind. There were times in my life when I was actually frustrated that I was a girl, and it was difficult for me to take on certain situations,
Absolutely.
It was more or less that I was a girl, and not that I wanted to be a girl, but that I simply have always been. Just something I never really questioned about myself. So
that's when you started off that sentence, I was like, that's something I realized for everybody who's in my DMs messaging me is I've never had anybody be like, oh my God, I'm so worried of coming out. Like all my friends and family are just so liberal and atheist. Oh my God. Like I'm so worried. Not a damn single one. I wonder why. Crazy.
Well, and you mentioned that you felt this way since you said 3 or 4. Like, do you have those like indelible memories of like, I know for me, like we were pretending to be dogs, and I remember going to my mom and being like, hey mom, we're pretending to be dogs. Can I pretend to be a girl dog? And she was like, I mean, whatever. Like at the time, we was like, yeah, okay, cool, fine, whatever, do it. Like, but that was like my earliest memory of ever being like feeling, I was like, playing pretend was my only way of like satiating this need. Do you have those kind of memories, or?
I do. I have just about every time I chose an avatar in a game or something like that. Obviously, it was a girl avatar. Anytime you could customize your character, I did so from a female perspective. Anytime you're in the playground at school and you play make believe, I was shape-shifting into a female form and pretending to be like a female animal or something like that. Absolutely, 100%. Across the board, for sure.
It's I mean, it's one of those things where people always thought like, I would never admit it, but like, they were like in high school, I remember going to the pool and having the girls put makeup on me, and I fucking loved it. Like, but all the other boys were like, oh, we're gonna come save, at the time, David. Like, we're gonna go save David. And I was like, no. They're saving me. Y'all are pushing me back in that fucking closet. But that's awesome. I love that you were able to like feel that way, but also just like act on it too. Because I feel like most people
Even
hide.
despite my parents' pushback and opposition too. Anytime they found like feminine things in my room, they would threaten me with violence and hit me and things like that. So I mean, it was an ongoing thing that you couldn't really squash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just something about me that is just not going to go away. So
Wow. I'm sorry. That's crummy.
is what it is.
Yeah.
How, if you don't mind me asking, how are they now? Do they like support you? Are they?
No.
You cut them off, didn't you?
It's a long story, obviously. So during my chemotherapy, one of the things that many people struggle with, cis women to cis men and transgender people alike, is losing your hair. And that was something I fought very hard to maintain. And like small feminine features, like having eyebrows and having eyelashes and having nice hair, is something a lot of us take for granted, other than when you're facing chemotherapy and cancer. So I struggled with that quite a bit. And to make up for that, to those loss of feminine features, I decided to wear formal dresses to my chemotherapies to kind of have something to look forward to help me get through it. Yeah, formal dresses, like really cute, fun formal dresses. I asked my oncologist and my nurses to make sure it was all right because, obviously they have chemicals going into my body. So, long story short, so I came down the stairs on the first chemotherapy with a cute dress, and my dad just he was there for the first chemo. He was going to bring me to my appointment, and he just hit the roof with swear words and everything, and he's like, "You are not wearing that to your chemotherapy." Yeah, exactly. So,
fuck, I'm not.
if there's one time you should set aside your pride and your feelings, it's like when your only child's going through chemotherapy. But I digress.
Something, cancer, evil person, something.
Apparently, my chemotherapy was about them. But
yes.
My dad screamed at my mom until he convinced her not to come to my chemotherapies either. And as a result of that entire fiasco, I refused to have a relationship with them. So it is what it is. It was a long time coming, and I'm better for it, cutting them off entirely. But that was the last straw, essentially.
Oh yeah.
It takes a particular kind of evil to not not go to your kids' chemo. Goodness, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I replaced them with good friends and chosen family, and they supported me in droves, and that's what matters.
Yeah,
so the people who were there are the ones that matter.
Same. And I mean, at the time of this recording, Mother's Day is coming up. Mother's and Father's Day is always hard.
Just another Sunday.
Damn. I'm going through therapy, of course. I think everybody needs it, but it's for me, it's only gotten worse, especially because it's Facebook decided to show a memory, which was great, of them misgendering me, 12 times in a text message. I was like, yes, Facebook, thank you.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. Thank you, Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, Zuckerberg, harder, daddy.
Yep. I don't think either of my parents have ever used a female set of pronouns to refer to their only child. So it was just time. There was no working with them or getting past their shortcomings, so I just cut them off eventually.
Wow. I'm so sorry.
And this is after I have an engineering degree and a successful engineering career and a black belt in Shotokan Karate. None of those things are going to impress you. If eating cancer isn't going to impress you, ain't nothing going to do it. So you're out.
Them saying I'm proud of you is equally as likely. It's no. I'm proud of you. There you go.
Cool.
Damn right.
So, and I mean, I love asking this kind of question to people who who come on, because we have a bunch of viewers who are our age or older, who don't want to. They covet this fake relationship with their parents. They're like, oh, I don't want to lose my parents. But they don't realize that there's a whole other community out there of people who support and love you. What would you recommend to people? How would you tell people to go about like finding that sort of support system? It sounds like you have an amazing one.
Yeah, I have 20 years worth of transgender friends and LGBT support online. I would just say try to socialize more, surround yourself with support, because that's the only way you're going to reach your goal
100%.
successfully.
Yeah.
You know, and not every relationship is worth having. Your mental health is worth more. So
Right?
so just like,
Yeah, it's
if it doesn't feel right, don't force it. You don't have to cut them off completely, but if it's not helping your mental health, then maybe a little less time with the parents and a little more time with supportive friends.
yeah. I definitely feel like the family you choose is much more important. I know so many people who have at least like slid into my DMs who are like, "Hey, I'm coming out. I have my eggs cracked, and I'm coming out to my wife, to my my girlfriend, my parents, my brothers and sisters," and I think they just kind of want this like reassurance that it's going to be okay. And I feel like the hard part is probably not. Like, sadly, but being okay with that is not going to be okay. Is I think the biggest thing that people need to hear. I don't know, Bree's X, do y'all like have? I mean,
Actually, I was talking to this Bree yesterday. I was like, oh, we got to bring this up. That was perfect. I was like, awesome. Is that, especially when transitioning, what I've noticed with a lot of trans individuals, especially trans women, is as soon as they're like, I figured myself out. I need validation. I need love. And they just go in. It's even worse than like the lesbian U-Haul. Within 2 months, they're moving in with each other. Holy shit. They go hard. They're like, I love you. I was like, we have been on one date. Chill. Like,
Hey, I understand.
scale it back. I know what's going on. I know you found yourself. I'm proud of you. But I found that you need therapy. Like, I was like, oh my God. And that happens a lot. But it's like you took all this time in your life to finally be who you are, and you just want it. But you have to have that delayed gratification that kind of comes with time, with the word transition. And it's transitional love. It's going to happen over time. You'll find those people in your life who really do, and it doesn't matter. You'll find others where it's going to take them a little bit of time. You're going to find even more so where you got to cut them off. And it's unfortunate, and it fucking sucks every time. But I promise you will be happier. And this goes for all the cis men in my DMs too. Cut off your shithead friends. God damn it. Cut off your shithead friends. Because it's like, why are you holding on to these people who you're so afraid to be seen with trans people? Yeah. I'm going to go off. I'm like, God, it's so frustrating.
Get it, girl.
Like, you could have all these amazing people who will love and accept you, but you're like, nah, I want these dickheads. Nah.
Yeah, like it's so interesting how people like they will choose to like throw us under the bus because it makes them not look like the kindness is weakness kind of thing.
Somebody was like, hey, are you discreet? And I was like, do I look discreet?
No, I am not.
That's what I thought. I was like, you can get in line there with the other people. Go.
I get it that you found me on your incognito browser, but I am not staying on the incognito.
Alex Jones. No, I'm kidding. I popped up for recommendation.
That's so awesome. I love I love hearing positive stories that that they start out so negative, and it sounds like you are really just thriving in your in your being you. I know we'd asked about you in the earlier part about like projects you have coming up, and you were talking about this Knockout Blonde. What is
movie
that?
Time?
Yeah.
Movie time.
Yeah. What? Like, tell us about that.
Let's go, superstar.
Yeah. So as I got more popular in the cosplay world, I decided to branch into like acting, and I did a couple indie projects to get a little experience. And then during COVID in 2020, there was a casting call in one of my transgender social groups on Facebook, and I decided to toss my hat in the ring for a possible lead role. in a movie called Knockout Blonde, and I was selected. I did 2 interviews over Zoom, reading part of a script and things like that, and kind of emoting at the camera.
That's awesome.
And I was offered the role for Kelly Maloney. It's a movie based on famous boxing promoter in. She was in Britain. She lives in Portugal now. Who gained fame by transitioning from Frank to Kelly. And she was very well known in London, and this is the story of her life, and I play her in the movie. So it was my first big paid, huge production
Did you get
acting
to?
role. I
Did
had
you
like
get
a
to meet
makeup
her?
artist and a personal assistant and a wardrobe stylist, and it was like the whole immersive experience, and it was really cool. It's from Verity Productions, who is responsible for like The Irishman for HBO and several other large projects that have gone streaming on Netflix and Apple TV and things like that. So I don't yet know where Knockout Blonde is going to be offered for streaming, but I went to the red carpet about a year ago, and it looks great, and I look forward to announcing where it can be seen. So yeah, Knockout Blonde.
We're gonna have to do a live stream when we all go to Aruba together.
Yeah.
By the way, did you ever get to meet Kelly?
I did. Yeah, during the red carpet, she came over from Portugal, and we got a bunch of selfies together and partied. Watched the movie together and then partied afterwards together as well. Yeah, she's a fantastic individual. I really enjoyed meeting her, and I'm gonna have photos of all of us from the red carpet up on my social media eventually. But they want me to wait till the movie's released before doing that. So, but yeah.
So okay, so to Knockout Blonde, did you have to like dye your hair? Were you? I guess I assume you were blonde in it, or am I just like reading too much into the name?
Yes and no. I had a makeup artist who did a fantastic job of putting a bald cap on me every single morning during filming, and I had real hair human wigs that I would play the man role of Kelly Maloney, Frank. And then I would play the other half of the movie was spent as Kelly, and she is blonde. So
how did that make you feel having to play a guy?
Yeah,
that was the reason why they hired transgender talent for the role, is that they wanted that sort of connection to being both genders, and I commend them for that. It was weird. All the crew was obviously using female pronouns for me, but I looked very much like Frank Maloney. It was really interesting, and this was this was maybe
anybody can't come on,
maybe like 3 or 4 weeks after my breast augmentation. So I spent the entire movie hiding these yeah, kind of like a sports bra, because I was still kind of
girl.
So it was wild. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Big owl.
Okay. So
If anything with a binder, it probably looked like you had like a big muscular chest. If anything, at the
I looked like a bush lesbian.
Yes.
No.
Because I was wearing a suit and a tie, and I had tits out to here, and yeah. So
that's awesome.
But it worked somehow.
That's so cool. I've always wanted to I don't know, just have somebody come in, just do somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, first off, because I shaved my head before I started transitioning, and so I've been growing this out for almost 2 years now. But have somebody who knows what they're doing put a wig on. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. So I do have speaking of that, I do have one question, just because I know probably viewers are going to want to know this. I have a lot of friends, a lot of people in my DMs who are our age or older, who are struggling with the hair loss. How do you deal with that? Especially initially the acceptance of it, but also coming back from it. How do you? What would you recommend? Like products or wigs / anything else that you would give to people who need to feel feminine but don't have the hair growth?
Yeah. During chemotherapy, I had some really nice lace front wigs, so obviously those are really nice. Even now, I struggle a little bit with hair loss, but during regrowth and recovery, I was using Rogaine and collagen supplements and other sort of supplements in combination with increasing my protein intake.
Protein.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
heard that one.
Interesting.
And just kind of like informing my body what I want it to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But regrowing lost hair is a lot more difficult than recovering from chemotherapy, where hair once was. So.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I was essentially, I had 2 racing stripes going back here until I had my hair surgery. This is probably the better part of like fucking 15 grand worth of hair surgery back when I was in my early 20s. But I mean, your hair looks amazing. So I think whatever you can. So was it a combination of like prescription and non-prescription? Was it all non-prescription?
It was just Rogaine and collagen supplements. Even now, it's like a little thin in the front, but you know, it's manageable.
I
But
could just dive into it and fall asleep.
What?
I don't know. I love soft hair. That's amazing. Well, I mean, and you are the poster child for like, so, you know, just coming back from beating all the odds. You know, beating cancer, beating crummy parents, and just
lottery
being
ticket yet? Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
What?
I mean,
Get your lottery ticket. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I occasionally do. But actually, I was planning all of my surgeries in 2020, and obviously that didn't happen. So like the first surgery I was going to have was March 20th, and so 5 days before my first transgender surgery, I got a phone call saying that all elective surgeries were canceled indefinitely.
Oh,
yeah,
I wanted to start
years of
resisting
work to get to that point, and then
2020.
5 days before surgery, I'm getting cut off. But
poor thing.
eventually, I got 2 of them rescheduled in 2020, and then I'm on the schedule for bottom surgery this September. So, yep,
Get it, girl. Fuck yeah. Rock and roll.
gonna get one of them fancy vaginas.
I have
Gonna have Bluetooth and
my
Wi-Fi. It's gonna be great.
I have a consult for bottom surgery, and it's August 23rd. Sad thing is, it's August 23rd of 2026. So,
oh wow,
they were like, they called me and they're like, hey, we want to schedule your consult, and I was like, cool. And they're like, how's August 23rd? And I was like, that's not like, I mean, that's a little ways away, but okay. And they're like, oh, of 2026. And I was like, I think I'm free. Like, I haven't really planned.
No, I'm busy. I'm definitely busy. I know I'm busy that day. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, I have
super
a thing.
busy that day.
2026.
They told me they were like, it's a Thursday. How is that? And I'm like, fucking, I don't know. I think I'll probably still be alive.
I think I'll clear my schedule. I think I got time.
Yeah, they're like, they called me, and then they had the gumption to follow up and say they sent all the paper. They were like, they sent all this paperwork, and they were like, hey, we noticed you haven't filled out your paperwork. It's like, I think I got some time.
It's like, chill.
It's on the back burner. Leave me alone. We'll see you in a year.
They're like, hey, you go. We're gonna wait. You go. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to Virginia and do it instead.
Some in North Carolina were faster with it.
Yeah. That's one thing I've noticed about New York is everybody here is so fucking slow. Like,
burnt out.
Yeah. Everybody's just so everybody's so fucking slow here. Everybody walks slow. Everybody talks slow. I'm like us Southern Virginians. So Chelsea, what part of the country are you in?
I am in my RV on the seacoast of New Hampshire right now. I just I have a house near the beach in Florida. But I just I departed there last week, and this is my transition week, so to speak, of driving up to New England for the summer.
Oh, so
and
you
then,
passed by New York and you didn't even stop by. Come on.
Well, I didn't know.
Come on.
But my bottom surgery is in Baltimore, so I'm going to hit that on the way south. So I'll definitely be like through that area like a few times before I return to my Florida house. So
Okay.
Going to Florida tomorrow.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, going to St. Pete to see my parents.
Tampa, St. Pete. Yeah, I love that area. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Must be tough, Bree. Must be tough.
Hey, I'm still going into, like the belly of the beast, Florida.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Just stay in the big cities. You'll be fine.
Okay. So another thing I want to know about is when you were looking into doing bottom surgery, did you do a lot of research on doctors? How did you settle on the doctor that you were going with?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is my third attempt.
Wait, what? Really?
What? Huh?
Third attempt?
Yeah.
Wow.
So third time's a charm, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
The first time I had a consult in Boston, and honestly, I got scared. So I just kind of like said, I don't know if I can do that kind of pain. I don't know if I can go through that. I'm very sure about this about myself, but I'm not sure I want to go with that operation. So I chickened out on that one. And then the second time, obviously, was COVID, and that got shut down.
Yeah.
And then I bought a house in Florida at that point. So this past, or like 2 winters ago, I started looking back into options again, brought up my old notes for the old surgeons that I had. Some of them, a couple of them retired. A couple of them were no longer taking my insurance because I have new insurance from then because I retired. And so I settled on Dr. Gabriel Del Coral in Baltimore, Maryland.
No way! I know him. Oh no, I don't know
good.
him. I he almost did my FFS.
Amazing. It seems like he does good work. He has a good reputation online.
Hang on, Bree, what the hell was that?
who is this guy?
I just broke. I'm so sorry. That was funny.
He yawned.
Yeah.
He just
Oh,
walked
he
underneath Yeah, he walked under my camera and went, "Ah."
I thought he like fucking.
Well, no, Chelsea. I like.
Chelsea. I was like,
Hang on. So Del Coral, like, because I was supposed to have an FFS consult with him like last year, like maybe 2 months after I actually had FFS. But I didn't realize he did. Wait, so Del Coral does everything. It sounds like.
Yeah, I get he came up for vaginoplasty, and he works with another surgeon, and so.
Wait,
what?
Face and bottom surgery are like there's that, or is he just that good? Where he's like, look, I can, look, I know you don't want a vagina on your face. Okay, cool, I got it. Like,
I mean, you have one, but
ooh, that's good. Hey, Chelsea, that's for after hours.
Oh, is it? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
damn, that was great.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I do love all the surgeons who like.
He does more of the aesthetics of the surgery. So
Okay.
I had a consult with the second surgeon who's actually doing the internal portion that he works with. So
Okay.
Yeah, I had my consult with him in November, and I liked what he had, and I liked what he said, and I looked at the before and afters as well of his work, and I really enjoyed how his approach and what he creates, and decided to pursue that. Plus, his parking lot's big enough for my RV, and that's kind of key. That's an important feature.
That's awesome. That's amazing. I'm going. Well, probably gonna end up going with somebody at UVA, University of Virginia, just because like it's easy. But I don't know. That's one of the ones. So how did you decide that you wanted when you? I've heard a bunch of people go back and forth on bottom surgery. They're like, I don't want it. I do want it. What was your deciding factor that made you say, "Cool, I need this. This is the thing that I need."
It was a number of reasons that kind of played a role into that. I've kind of gotten over my fear of surgery in recent years, so I think that I'm finally kind of okay. Yeah. And just like if I want to experience this in life, I'm in my mid 40s, and if I want to get it done before I'm like in my 50s, now would be the time to do it. And it just, it felt right. I did my research, and it's kind of poetic in that I was also born in Maryland, so I'm going to be reconstructed in Maryland as well. So that's that kind of nice.
Like you're like,
and it just
awesome.
felt right. So I decided to jump in with both feet.
Girl.
So here we go.
It's one of those things where I've heard like it's such a polarizing issue of like, do you want to like, are you going to do bottom surgery? I've seen a lot of people lately on Instagram who are like the bulge is apparently back in.
Okay.
I don't get it. Like sure. I've seen these very very feminine like girls, and they like pull their pants tight, and it's like this giant schlong, and it's like, good lord.
I wouldn't know anything about any of those.
No.
Yep, there's strip clubs. There's entire strip clubs where that's a thing.
Well, I was out with some I guess you call them friends. I don't know I wouldn't. But anyways, but they were talking about like they were they're cis women, but they were like trans girls are like the best because you get boobs and a dick, and I'm like, and one of those things is stock, like the other one's aftermarket. But
I was like, they can always just pack like
or strap on,
like trans men pack
too. A lot of different options there.
Well, they just I think they like the girl I was seeing up here was basically it's like pleasure for everybody as opposed to like a strap on, which apparently
you can have a double. You know what? That's for after hours.
That was after hours.
They were making a triple too. Never mind.
There's a quadruple I've seen as well.
Bring it to Aruba, okay? Well, Chelsea, this has been like you are a wealth of knowledge. This is awesome. We have so many people on who are like new egg crack, or so many people who watch who are new egg cracks, and so I feel like your breadth of knowledge is just amazing. I know you're probably going to get hit up like crazy by all three of our viewers. But I do have a very like kind of lighthearted question for you that I like to ask a lot, meaning every one of our guests. But do you have a transition theme song?
I
need to
transition
message people to get ready for this. Like, this
I used to do that, and then it wasn't fun anymore because then you didn't get this.
Yeah, like, is there a song that helped you? I mean, well, I guess you've most of the people who are like, well, it was this one song that like 2 years ago, but for you, I feel like there's a lot longer of a process. But is there a song that like has really like stuck out as like, this is like my, I mean, for lack of a better word, this is my fight song. Maybe not that song, but like, or my like, this song saved my life.
Mika's was Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Jesus. Mine is Super Bloom by Mr. Wives, because that's when I super bloom.
I don't even listen to country anymore, but I'm like, damn you, Shania Twain.
Yeah, nice.
Growing up as a kid.
I want to say yes, but I for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. And I'm not just saying that. There is a song that I have in mind.
Like Walk on the Wild Side.
Sing a couple lines if you
Say
can.
Say the weird thing.
Say the weird thing. Gosh, I heard it today in passing. It's one of those songs that just seems to be playing whenever there's like a key moment in my life when it with respect to transition. I just take it for granted that it's always going to be there in the background. And I can't remember it for the life of me. I'm sorry.
Well, if you think of it, message us, and we always like to tag our post on Instagram with the song.
I'll try to find it. It'll take a few minutes of time.
Who gets a Krabby Patty at 3 a.m.?
Text.
Yeah, no, I find that question, like, it was one of those questions where I was like, I always had a song, like this song by Mr. Wise, Super Bloom, that I was like, that song, whenever I was feeling down, I'd be like, put it on and I just go for a walk, and it was like, I never thought that I'd make it, but I came out the other side, and this is me super blooming, and it was like, that is just really kind of like poignant to what I'm going through. So, but yeah, like everybody out there who's listening, all three of you, but yeah, like think of your like that song that gets you through it, because it's one of those things where after, especially like
Scars. Scars by Alicia Cara.
She found it.
There it is.
Scars to Your Beautiful. Excuse me, Scars to Your Beautiful. That's the name of it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it just seems to always be playing in the background whenever I am.
That's your song, baby. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
It's a beautiful song. It's kind of empowering and uplifting, and it's just I really kind of enjoy it whenever it's on. I feel positive,
That's fucking beautiful. Like I love positive song. Like some people are like, oh, this is my like sad song. It's like, but that's not your transition. Your transition's happy, hopefully. But yeah, that's my favorite question. I always like to ask people that, because it kind of gets people to open up about like how they're feeling. So, Bree and Zex, I feel like y'all have questions too about.
I know I do, and they're not nearly as serious. Mine's cosplay related, because I know I mentioned that you're a cosplayer and stuff. And so I'm like, all right, what's been your favorite cosplay that you've ever done? And what's one thing that you've loved? This is kind of tying in a bunch of questions. As an engineer as well, did you ever make any of your like outfits or extra stuff? Like, did you go all out? I know yours is nuclear engineering, so maybe not. Or maybe you went all out on some shit.
Cool.
All out cosplay.
Damn. There's a good one.
There you go. That is a great question. I was actually electrical engineering. I wasn't nuclear engineering. I was working on nuclear submarines as an electrical engineer.
Oh, okay.
So
I just figured you were nuclear.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
No, they train you on submarine anyway.
Wait, electrical engineering is perfect for cosplay.
Exactly. I love working with materials and foam and things like that, and adding electronics and stuff. And I have some armor builds that I've made, but my favorite one that I've ever made is Poison Ivy, and because I can relate to the sexual orientation kind of self-discovery portion, because she is bisexual or has a female love interest in Harley. But also you can reinvent her for different seasons. So you have spring with all the flowers, and you got summer with the bright green leaves, and you have the fall foliage. I have a fall foliage one on my Instagram and my social media that's really beautiful, has a lot of different colors to it. And then I even made a winter one using poinsettias and kind of evergreens. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that cosplay. It's beautiful, it's meaningful, it's a lot of fun.
You have to wear that to Aruba when we go.
I was like, that fucking nailed it. That's why I was excited. The most exciting thing after like looking at your profile and stuff, being like, oh my god, I need to know. And that kind of brings me to the next question, which I've noticed a lot of your stuff has been more, I would describe it almost like a floral, elegant fashion. So the fact that Ivy is just, I was like, that's perfect. I was like, how would you describe your fashion sense as a result? I was like, it just kind of come out when both those answers, but is that how you would describe yourself from like your inspirations?
I think so. Yeah. It feels kind of fresh and feminine and blooming and coming into yourself.
And this is very fitting.
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of the dresses that I choose to buy are floral and or flower themed, and that just seems to be a running theme in my style and fashion as well.
For this today, I love it. It's like,
fabulous.
Yeah.
It looked great.
Wanting to theme it to you.
Oh, that's so cute, y'all. Oh,
yeah. I was like, I know this is fashion, so I was like, okay, I want to do floral.
That's amazing. Bree, do you want to do your question?
I don't like my question anymore.
Oh, Bree. Oh,
After
Bree,
hours?
It's a
Bree.
stupid question. I do want to ask you about the Fallout cosplay that you did do.
Yes.
That was pretty fucking good, pretty chesty, to be honest, but not arguing there.
Nice.
My question
Yep.
is, did you
I have a
How did
story.
you put that whole thing together? Like, where did
Great
you pull
question.
all the parts?
All right. So when COVID started, I was surviving in a camper in the woods, trying to telework an engineering job without a mask.
Fallout.
So, I started. I took my engineering and my cosplay skills, and I started making masks out of like HEPA filters and foam and elastic bands and stuff like that. And it turned out to be like a little mini side hustle because everyone wanted one. So the mask I'm actually wearing in that Fallout cosplay photo shoot is one of my custom respirators that I was making at the time.
Oh,
So I
that's
combined that with the flight suit that one of my cosplay photographer friends had, and those are my fresh boobs from earlier in the year as well. And we did a photo shoot at an abandoned military bunker in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, near the seacoast, and it all just kind of came together. Like all of my interests and recent things really came together in that one photo shoot. So that's an excellent question.
I got the perfect summary.
Okay, Chelsea,
Fallout series.
have you ever incorporated a Raspberry Pi into one of your costumes?
No.
Would you ever? And what would you do with it?
A Raspberry Pi, like a programming module.
Yeah.
Add cream.
Like I mean,
yeah. Eventually, I would like to make like an Iron Man suit or something like that. You know, eventually.
that'd be cool.
It's going to take some doing. Obviously, I'd probably need a 3D printer for parts of it. But I plan to get there eventually. Nice.
I'm going to add that cream.
No, I always buy Raspberry. Every time they come out with a new one, they just came out with the 5, and I just bought it for just for shits and giggles. I have nothing to do with it. It sits there and emails me in the morning. And it's like, hey, good morning.
There's a term for that, and it's called hoarding.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love it. I'm noticing we are we blew past that half hour, but this has been awesome. I guess do y'all want to do final thoughts and then jump into after hours?
Let's do it.
All right.
Sure.
Who wants to go first? I always go first. I don't want to go first anymore.
Hang on. Unless, Chelsea, do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh, yeah.
With like the movie coming out and stuff. Is there anything that you want to add? Like, hey, where can you go to see more of you? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm on all the major social medias as Chelsea Brickham, and you can find me. What?
Oh, my stupid thing crashed. My computer just crashed.
You can just find me everywhere. Yeah.
Sorry, my internet just went out at the perfect time.
Really good timing.
Oh, interesting.
Good timing. Fuck. That's awesome.
I'm on a Wi-Fi hotspot in a parking lot. I'm doing fine.
I'm in my apartment and doing shitty.
My potitties. Hang on, because you're at potato internet, so.
Nice.
Go. All right.
Perfect.
You know, all 3 of them, it's called a Po Trio. Just like Pokemon, all right? There you go. Continue.
Collect them all.
You're welcome.
Well, this is awesome.
How do you turn potatoes into diglets?
No one knows what's underneath them. It could be a set of breasts.
Could be. Yep.
Chelsea, I do want to say just thank you again for coming on and just like being such a good sport about all our stupid questions, and just like being a trailblazer.
The tongue. She was like, "Oh, I'm getting bread. Damn."
No, like because I feel like it's people with your bravery and you made it possible for the rest of us, because I know I would not nearly have been able to do this had it not been for people with your gumption and your chutzpah, as they say. So thank you for all you do, and continue to do, and just keep being your same beautiful self.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words very much. Thank you, and I
Absolutely.
will continue doing
Oh,
what I'm
and
doing.
also for being a nerd, because fucking nerds are the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Smile.
Bree, Zach, y'all
Okay.
want?
Yeah,
go
I'll go. Chelsea, you're a badass bitch. I hope you hear that more than once a day. After learning all the rest of everything that you've done that I have no clue, which was probably half of it, that's just even more badassery. So
Hell
you
yeah.
keep doing you,
100%.
and we love you for it.
Yeah.
And you're hot.
When I write my bio, I'll just put all of what you've told today. That way people will actually be proud of me. That's good. There we go.
I'm proud of you, just the way you are.
I was like, look, fatherless behavior while I have several daddies. Like, seriously, thank you.
That's awesome.
You're welcome. Yeah, like it's been a blast, especially like just oh my god, the random moments and shit too. Incredibly insightful takes. A lot of the times we just kind of see where people go on here, and so it's like, you know, we started out with the more serious tones and then kind of got to this, and it just kind of flowed. So thank you for letting us pick your brain.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Not like Fallout.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, and to all of our viewers, thank you so much for watching. And if you're part of our Patreon for After Hours, we'll see you in the After Hours. If you're not part of our Patreon, you should join it, because we're going to be real fun. We're going to talk some serious.
I got some stories.
Yeah. So if you're not part of the Patreon, you should join. And anyways, Chelsea, thank you again so much for coming on and just being a beautiful person and a light in a dark place, as like to say. So but yeah. So anyways, for Girl Dad Girls, I am that QT Danny B.
I'm Scarlett Anastasia, aka Sexion1337.
Free State Marine. Y'all know who it is.
And our lovely guest, Chelsea, thank you again, and we'll see everybody in the After Hours. Bye.
Bye.
This has been a production of Girl Dad Girls Podcast. Check out new episodes every Thursday. If you are interested in knowing more, please email info@girldadgirls.com or find us on Instagram @girldadgirls. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.